July 14th. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. 1 Peter 4:9. The word hospitality in Greek literally means loving strangers. Though Peter is speaking of being hospitable to those who were part of the church, these were also often strangers, coming from distant places, recommended by nothing other than the faith that they shared with the host. Barclay comments on this verse. First, Peter urges upon his people the duty of hospitality. Without hospitality, the early church could not have existed. The traveling missionaries who spread the good news of the gospel had to find somewhere to stay, and there was no place for them to stay except in the homes of Christians. Such inns as there were impossibly dear, impossibly filthy, and notoriously immoral. Thus we find Peter lodging with one Simon a tanner, and Paul and his company were to lodge with one Mnason of Cyprus, an early disciple. Many a nameless one in the early church made Christian missionary work possible by opening the doors of his house and home. Not only did the missionaries need hospitality, the local churches also needed it. For 200 years, there was no such thing as a church building. The church was compelled to meet in the houses of those who had bigger rooms and were prepared to lend them for the services of the congregation. Thus we read of the church which was in the house of Aquila and Priscilla, and of the church which was in the house of Philemon. Without those who were prepared to open their homes, the early church could not have met for worship at all. It is little wonder that again and again in the New Testament, the duty of hospitality is pressed upon Christians. The situation may be different today, but the exhortation remains the same. We are part of the family of God, and being hospitable is not optional, but a key aspect of the Christian life, even if we don't feel very hospitable. Stephen Rhodes writes, "Most of us know what true hospitality feels like. It means being received openly, warmly, freely, without any need to prove ourselves. Hospitality makes us feel worthy because our host assumes we are worthy. This is the kind of hospitality that we have experienced from God, and all that God asks is that we go and do likewise." Today's prayer: Lord Jesus, help me to be hospitable without grumbling.